Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. There's Jinx the cat. She's gonna go, I think, lay down. And here, look, there she is. Where are you going? You gonna go lay down? Where are you gonna go? Where you gonna go, little kitty? Here, look, she's cleaning herself. Yeah. Yes, that is a Lego shark up there. Yes, I know. My sister made it. Alright, anyway, so she's just over there, but anyway. So today we're not focusing on the Lego shark. No, we're focusing on something else. Now, I recently did I put on, I think, was it July 1st? I said on the 8th of July, I was going to make a brand new YouTube video. And I was doing another toy review. Now, the last toy review we did was the Golden Girl playset. Or, I guess not really a playset, like, I guess the set, or like the toys. From the show. And then the year before that, we did another one, which we did, the Knowing Orange set. The Knowing Orange plush toys, which I have there in my room. So today we're not doing those again. We're doing something completely different. This is be based off of one of my favorite TV shows. I've talked about them. I've given them birthday shoutouts before on here before, and I've decided to let's just give a cool review of these toys that I have. And if you don't know what it is, I'll tell you what it is right now. We're going to be reviewing my Wiggles toys that I have and that I currently own. So let's begin. Before I begin, I'm going to let you know that I have two unofficial toys that I do use sometimes in my yeah, YouTube notifications and my phone. My phone's right here. See, look, it's right here. Yeah, you know what? Here, phone's right here. I keep right. It's not in here. It's right on this little cup holder thing. But anyway, its phone's right here. Anyway, so I'm going to show you all the Wiggle stuff I have because I'm a huge fan of the show. You know, you can say, "Oh, Brady, come on, this show's for babies." Actually, it's not. It's actually for all ages. They have they've done adult shows before too. In 2022, they did adult shows, and they still bring kids things. If you're a kid or adult, the show still comes on. It doesn't matter. The Wiggles for any age. Nobody who gives a crap how old you are. I mean, Robert De Niro literally went with his, who's I think believe is 82 years old, and he went to go see him because of his granddaughter. So it doesn't matter how old you are. If you just go, it's just a fun thing. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter. It's just a fun thing to do. So without further ado, let's get into the toys. So I'm gonna first show you the first two are unofficial, not marketed, not Wiggles official stuff. But I use them because, well, they kind of work and they kind of go along. Well, I'll show you in just a sec. But again, let me just clarify: these are not official Wiggles merchandise. These are unofficial. The rest of it is official. These first two are unofficial. Okay. So okay, so I'm gonna do this one first. Okay. Okay. Let's do this one first. So this is unofficial. This is not by them. So here we go. So this is like your typical normal dog. This is supposed to be Wags the dog, even though it looks nothing like him. What the hell is that mark there? That chocolate? Is that marker? I think it's, I don't know. Okay, I don't know what the hell that is. I just noticed that. It looks like he's like a half mustache. I just noticed that. It's not, is it marker? Does it smell? No, it doesn't smell anything. It's like a toy box, but anyway. So this is an unofficial plush of like kind of like Wags the dog. Now I use him. What I do kind of like this is kind of like the first version I got, kind of like the start out of Wags the dog, like the very first kind of like start out back in like 1991 or 92, kind of when he first got out. For kind of when he first branched out. You know, I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about. So like here, let me just get my phone open here. Oh no, he started in 1995. My bad, not 1991. So the first kind of like the first version of him, you know, it kind of looked like yeah. So the kind of first version kind of had this was the first costume version of him, kind of like this. You know, this is kind of how it looked. So I kind of use this kind of as that, and I use it as this as well. And it goes on until like we get into like early, like maybe not until like the late probably late like into like what year is this? Probably not in the late 2000, 2006. So this is the first unofficial. But again, but I use this as well as the dog. No, it doesn't have a tongue, but again, I like to use it because why the hell not? So then the second version is the second unofficial one is here it's an unofficial Henry the Octopus toy I have here, and get 1 second. Let's look at one more thing. Hold on. I'm thinking to myself. 1 second. What is this? Hold on. It comes from a different place, but I have it here. Okay. Hold on. Wait, isn't the back of its hat? Let me see. What is that? Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah. Wait. No, something's wrong. No, no, no. Oh yeah, my bad. That's okay. See, I knew the hat was wrong. Okay, hold on. So there's a cause. Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so so if you ever been to okay, so it's called so there's a place in Santa Monica. Okay, I know. I kind of blanked out for a second. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. So there's a place called the Santa Monica Pier. It's in Santa Monica. It's called the Pacific Park. It's a theme park, and this is what it looks like here. So this is it. And so it's called the Pacific Park theme park, and they have this mascot here. And when I first saw them, when I first saw him, he kind of looked like, well, Henry the Octopus to me. And I named him Henry the Octopus because, again, when I first saw him, this guy kind of was like, hey, this dude kind of does look like Henry the Octopus, and I'm like, well, yeah, he kind of does. His actual name is Inky, but when I first saw them, like, at kind of first glance, this is kind of what this kind of does look like Henry the Octopus. Like, I'm not going to deny it. Um, but it's different. So anyway, so here's the actual thing itself. Now this is now, yes, I'm gonna admit it's kind of creepy because again I was a kid. This is like kind of it's a kid's thing. So yeah, he's got originally he's got black. I switched the eye colors off of him, but I use this as like older versions of Henry the Octopus from starting kind of like from like with this era. This first one was creepy as fuck um, to like another. Oh, here's a kind of a better clear shot of him with Greg's face. I'll zoom in so you see Henry. So this is kind of like that sort of. But I always thought that this thing was a little creep. Excuse me. This is kind of one of my favorite versions of Henry. I like this one. I like this one. It's kind of cool. Got the big friendly smile. I mean, it does kind of look a little creepy, but yeah. But anyway, but this is their mascot at the Pacific Park. It's a theme park in Santa Monica. I've been there before. I've been there, and I got this as a gift from when like I got this as a kid when I went to a bud of mine's birthday party. So let me see if I can find like a toy version of him. Let's see. I can show you what the original thing looks like. Let's see here. Let's see. What am I doing here? Hold on. So, um, if I can't find a toy, I can't. Well, okay. I may not be able to find what he looks like. Okay, but again, like if you like take a look at this face, like, oh, here's another picture. Here's a better picture of him. I mean, like, it's got the hat, the tentacles. I'm like, hey, this kind of does look like Henry the Octopus. Like, I'm not gonna lie. He definitely looks like him. I mean, like, here, look. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I mean, like here's okay, the kind of yeah, but like you kind of see the toys on there with him. But again, this kind of reminds me of Henry the Octopus. I'm like, this dude kind of looks like him. So yeah. So anyway, so that's that, and I'm gonna compare Henry to that in a moment. So just wait for that. So these are the two unofficial Wiggle stuff that I use sometimes. If you ever notice, sometimes when I'm on Roblox, I will what I do is I will play my computer and I will send this is well, and a lot of people don't know this, but some people who know when I join or when I'm on Roblox and I'm playing, sometimes and the reason why I turn my plays off is because sometimes when I'm sitting in my there are times where I'm actually doing like actual physical Wiggles concerts in my room. And I'm doing it on Roblox. So I have like I have like everything I need. Like I have like a actual like headset for like what they use. I have like stuff I need. I have like all this stuff here, like the toys that and the professional stuff that I use for like for like friends stuff like that. And I use that because it's fun. So anyway, so these are the two unofficial Wiggles toys here. Now let's get into the real deal. Let's get into the real deal here. So up first, let's see. Let's start with our first friend. I have a couple of. I have a. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's start off with our first. Let's start with the. Let's start off. Let's go back to the very beginning of the game. to the very first character. So this is an official Dorothy the Dinosaur toy that I have here. It's got less spots than normal. She's, again, she's a dinosaur. And originally there was her tail used to drag on the floor. Um, and then actually before that, they actually had to hold her tail up to help her, kind of guide herself. Um, but this is one of the Dorothy the Dinosaur toys. It's like early, like again, I would use this one for like 1991 all the way up to like before like they swapped out because I have another one here. So this is a Dorothy that I use all the time, and I like it. It's nice. It's soft. It's a plush, and here's her hat. There's her hat. There's her teeth. The tail. This one's kind of got less spots. So this is one of the Dorothy's I use when I play on Roblox when I'm doing my stuff, and I'll bring it over in my desk chair. What are you doing, Jinky Boo? You getting comfortable? Okay. I'll bring it over and I'll have like two pillows because some of the other stuff I have here just doesn't sit well with the material. So with the leather kind of stuff. So anyway, so the second Dorothy, the one I currently use is this one. This one's kind of much better. This one's kind of got more spots. It's got kind of a less larger tail. She's in this pose here, and she's even got we gotta finish it here. She even got eyelashes, so she can see it better with that. So yes, and she just stands in this position, like this. Like that, kind of like that. And this is what I would use. And her feet, they're like these. I know what they are. Like, I don't need to cut it open because I know what it is. But they're like these like little like here. Like listen. Yeah, you hear that? Like that's what that sounds like. They're like these. They're like these like little plastic like feet cylinder things where you put them on like they're in the feet, and so that's how she's able to stand up on her own. The other one doesn't have it. This one just has beads in her feet. This one has like a plastic pad in her foot. And I know what this looks like. I think I've seen this before somewhere else. So that's current Dorothy. So here are the two Dorothys I use, and yeah, I can also make them do stuff, but we're not going to do that. Comments may or may not be on. I'm going to think about it. Give me some time to think. We'll see how I feel. So the next thing that we have here. Oh, yeah, this guy. Let's get him. Oh, fuck. Get back here. Okay, they're in a bin here. So here's an official Captain Featherstor toy. Now you're probably wondering what the fuck is on his boot. This is literally a band. These are multiple layers of band-aids, and they're covered in black because his somehow the leather boot came undone. I don't know how, what caused it to come undone. So my mom tried to sew, but she couldn't do it so well. So we had to do is I decided, you know what? I said, fuck this. Like let's just give it like covered. Like let me just put some like black band-aids on it, and then cover it in black, just still look like a boot. So yeah. So we have that, and then there's a little piece of tape on his eye patch there because it wouldn't stay down. And then there's this little earring thing I found by the captain has a pierced ear, and I kind of I don't. There you got to make sure you're doing the right ear, and the reason why I say this because I think if I'm correct, it's your left ear that makes you gay, or like it's your right ear. There's something like it's like a thing like with gay people, where if you get see which so really, huh, huh, okay, yeah, that's weird, but okay, what was it originally? Okay, well, so if well, okay, well, originally from what I okay, so so originally is the gay ear means if you got like one of your ears pierced, like you said the left or right. It was like the late 20th century. Which one was it? Which I guess like you would get like your ear, which is like a single ear pierce that should let you know that you're gay. I think it was the both. Was it either the left? I think it was either the left or the right ear. So which one is the ear? So yeah. So like if you got like one of your ears pierced, that's kind of how that's kind of known as kind of like the gay ear. So like let me just kind of show you. So like an example of like the gay ear. Um, Someone who has like their well again being a person who's gay, and they have their ear pierced. It just would be like a single ear piercing on your ear. So I guess they don't do that anymore. But I guess yeah okay. So which I don't remember which ear it was, but like it was like one of your ears you could get pierced since the gay ear. So and so that was what it was called. So and that's what it was. So it's either the left or the right anymore. I don't remember what it was. But Paul Paddock, who was the guy who plays Captain Feathersword, and he has his ear pierced, and that's I don't know if he did that. I don't know if he did that on purpose or if I don't know if it was like on purpose or something like that. But he's always had the ear pierced in his ear. It's kind of small to see, but that's what she said. So let me see if I can show it to you. Yeah, my crap here. Son of a bitch. Hold on, my thing's tangled. Fuck. Okay, fair enough. Here, I'll unhook my phone. So it's kind of like it's the small. It's like right there. It's like I zoomed in and seeing how to see it. I don't know if it's even clearly, but anyway. So he has one of his ears pierced. At this point, there's some. I guess there's no such thing now as a gay ear, but anyway. But he had this. But he has the pierce. I don't know if he did it because he wanted because of the Captain Feathersword look. I don't know if that was the original. I don't know the original story behind that, but that's like that's what he's got. So that's the ear he has. So he has an earpiece. Again, like a physical earring that just dangs from his ears. Now, I don't have any earrings. I don't wear any jewelry. I have nothing pierced on my body. My ass is not pierced. My butt's not pierced. My penis is not pierced. My ears, nothing on me is pierced on me. I don't do piercings. I don't want to do it. So that is so this is a Captain Feathersword that I use. I was kind of trying to get a new one before this, but I don't think I have enough time. So this is originally the colors are actually supposed to be pink, not purple, but this was the one I just got beforehand, and I just took it in, and yeah, and then of course the magic buttons which you'd press, and he can make any sound you want. So like if you push like any button like on, I guess it's like more kind of on his left side than his right side because the other side have like the plugs, so to not the whatever you call those, like the pins or whatever, to put them in. So if like you press like one of these buttons here, this one would be like a robot button, and then he go like do like a little robot thing, like and then you press another button. Here's another one here. Here's like the sleep button, and that was kind of a whole thing, that the kid's allowed to do. So that's official. That is Captain Feathersword. Now the next one I got this guy recently. Oh, you may have seen what he is, but I had to put him on my... Okay, well, here he is. So here, fuck it, okay. Anyway, so here's Bok the Hand Puppet, and I'm going to put him on my hand. And he doesn't... They don't say... Well, we don't know what his gender is. He's either male or female. We're not too sure. We don't even know if he's a monkey or a bear, but that's another thing we don't know. So, anyway, I got this from Australia. Someone sent this to me from... I bought this off of eBay from Australia. So here's little Bok the Hand Puppet, and here he is. They were selling this in 2021. They stopped selling them. I kind of want... Because, like, they should really start selling these back in the store, because Bok the Hand Puppet is like one of the dopest creatures ever, and all he does is he just wiggles he doesn't talk, he just does this. And if he wants, and he gotta kind of move here back, and then when he wants to talk to you, he does, you have to make him do this. So right now he just told me he just told me to tell you to subscribe. Very well, Bok. Okay, so that's Bok the Hand Puppet. And okay, so the next thing we have so now let's get into Henry the Octopus. So I have Henry the Octopus. This is a bigger one, and I used one from this is early 2006 or 2000 where I would ditch this one to switch it with this one. This one's a bit bigger. That's also what she said. And it's a bit bigger, Henry, but I use it. So this is I don't even know what type of material this scene is. I don't even know what type of material it is, but yeah. So here's Henry, and then full 360 of what he looks like. And this is this is kind of yeah. So when I go back to that thing, you go back to this, you can look at this, and then you can look at this, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can see the definitely similarities here to this and to this. So yeah, they kind of do look alike. So that's that Henry the Octopus, and then the current one. Oh fuck! And then here's the current one, which I use this one, and he's got this a little red fluzel on his hat. I can't get it off. If you see it, it's like a little red fluzel. Yeah, I can't get it off. So this one, I like this one better because this one's it's smaller and lighter. But again, like I said, if you look at the picture, like I said, kind of compare it, okay, yes, you know what I mean? Like this looks like that. Except his tentacles are green and yellow, or the toy, this one's green and orange. It kind of looks different on this one. See, orange. So yeah, so that's that version. So that's that. Now this one here, this next character was going to get me got me to some trouble with a certain group of people, and they know exactly who I'm talking about. And this character did get me into, this character got me into, I wouldn't say some trouble, but got me into some controversial things. And with this character, and it's Shirley Shawn the Unicorn. Now, you know who you are. You know exactly who you are. And I'm going to call you out anyway because I don't care. This is Aspen, and this is not Aspen, but this is Shirley Shawn the Unicorn. And Aspen is the reason why we have this feud because of this character right here. Because we were not well. Apparently this unicorn is non-binary. So I didn't know. So when he first told me, I didn't know what the hell that was. I think I still kind of get it now, kind of don't. But so this was the character that we had an argument about. I know this is so stupid. It's a fucking unicorn. It's a yellow unicorn with stars on her body and a giant S on her stomach and a heart for a nose. This is the character we had an argument over. This little character right here. So, this is, and actually, what's cool things about this thing is actually you can flip her mane either to the left or to the right, or left, right, whatever. But you got a part in the middle. So this is kind of the one. So this is the character that Aspen and I had an argument about because of the way, because apparently he said this this unicorn is non-binary. Now, for me, I kind of understand what it means. I guess it's like, I believe correctly, identify with male or female. And I'm like, okay, fine. Originally, her on the Wikipedia page, it said her gender was female, and I was like, okay, sure. I thought, well, her name is Shirley Shawn. Her name's Shirley. Okay, that's kind of a girl's name, Shawn. Kind of a boy's name, sure. But you put it together, you got Shirley Shawn. And I said, okay, fine. So she's non-binary, and great, and I accept it. I don't care. But this is a character that Aspen and I got an argument over because of this character. So, yeah. So there's a little fun fact for you. And I'm putting this, like, all on the pile. This is all piling up, like, right in front of me here. I have, like, all this, like, in a bunch, like, on a pile. Like, just, it's piling on top of me. Yeah. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll take a picture of it. Here's like what it looks like. Here's what I'm seeing. This is what is going on here. Hello, Hammer, where are you? Oh, okay, whatever. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, now we're going on to the last one because I have multiple of these. I have way too many of these, and I couldn't get these all into one. They also do one more thing. We'll get this one to last. This is the big one. This is the last one. So the other character I have is Wags the dog. Now I have several of these. Why? Well, I don't know. So let's get all these guys out. So, and that'll break down the kind of the breakdown of these of the kind of which era you use these from. So this is kind of like the late 2000s, which Wags the Dog, which I would switch to. He's got a little. He's small. That's what she said. And this is the one that we. This is the one I got. I had one. I had this exact one before, but I lost it. It's somewhere probably in my garage. He just has a little sewn on his ear because his ear ripped. But this is the Wags the Dog that they would use like through 2000, like 6 or 7 or 8. No, probably all the way through 2008. And then I have another one here. Hold on. I have. Oh, then then you actually switch to this one where his ears kind of were pointed out. This is kind of again like early like 2000. This one's like in 2002, where he kind of had like his ears were kind of like pointed out. Like if I can show you my phone real quick. It's like if I don't show you, like you don't believe me, but I'm telling you, yeah, I'm telling you. Let's see, where'd it go? Where's the one from 2002? Good question. Oh crap. So 2002, he kind of like had his like his ears were kind of like pointed out a little bit, like kind of like this. That's kind of what it is now. Kind of like these pointed ears, and then he had the bee stung muzzle for a little bit, which was kind of like his muzzle, kind of like it was like a little bee stung, kind of like a little bigger muzzle. That's kind of like it's like a bee stung muzzle. That's how I kind of looked at it. But that's another one. So anyway, so that would be like an early like that's like 2005 6. That's kind of used for this one. So and then fuck, how do I get this port in here? Jesus. Okay, there we go. And then this one, this one originally had a harmonica, but I took it off because I'm like, you know what? He doesn't play harmonica. He plays nothing. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I swapped that out with this thing, with this one, and this is a sewn on a red piece of cloth here that I use as a tongue. And this one's kind of early, like 2000s, because again, gotta switch it out here. Again, I gotta get us one more switch. So this one I use. Excuse me. Looks like when Sam was there. So I kind of use this one here. So this was like 2010 all the way maybe to 20, I don't know, maybe a 2014, maybe 2013. Anyway, so that one's and there's that one. And then there's the one I'm currently using with this one with this little baby T-Rex arms here. And I like this one too. Just like the Dorothy, it's got the same feet, it's got the same thing. on the feet for like the standing up thing, so he can stand up on his own. Well, okay, he can't stand up on his own. Okay, yeah, he can't stand up on his own. Look, okay, maybe it's to rest up his back up against something, but that's like this version of Wagzlar. So this is that version of like this is one I currently use, and it's perfect. He's got those little baby T-Rex arms, but it's cool. So okay, so that's all of that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and quickly throw all this in here, throw back all this stuff into my bin right here because this is where I keep everything. So I'm gonna put that in there, put Bach away, and this, and one more hello to it's been scrumptious. Yes, he knows what I'm talking about, and if you don't believe him, he'll tell you the whole story. Check out my YouTube video on that whole war thing. So that is that. Okay. Yes, I have a wireless keyboard that I use for different things. So yeah. The lid back on this thing. Is that everything? Wait. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now this one. So this one here. This one's a bit different. This is a pillow. And I've used this once. Actually, I've never used it. So sometimes during the live Wiggles show, there's a time where the Wiggles have like this huge, like they have like these like balloons, like these like giant inflatable like Wiggle blow ups. So they have like these like giant balloon like statues of themselves, inflatables. So they look like this. So here's kind of like Anthony. Here's Anthony like in 2000. No, I'm sorry, like 2011. Excuse me, there's some random chick there. Here's one of Greg, also some random little girl there. And then here's one of Jeff, too. Here's one of Jeff. There's one of Jeff sleeping. And, here's another better one of Anthony. There's another one. Kind of better out little girl, because, and again, no one knew who that was. Oh, and here's the current one that we use with is the bagpipes. It's kind of a version of Anthony they've used before. So what it is, it's like a giant inflatable thing here. And they've used these before when they've toured, and it's like a blow up, and they blow it up on stage, and it's like a big thing. Oh, here's one of Murray, and this is him like in his round. Oops, this is him in his round, kind of like the round base without a full body. So this is kind of like there's that. I hope that's coming clear, but it's probably not. But anyway, so then there's also like a full body thing, like a full body like. Thing of like it's called the I'll show you. So it's called the Murray balloon, and the Murray balloon is like this giant balloon of Murray Cook, aka Murray Wiggle, that stands up to be about I'm not even sure how tall it is or how big it is, but it stands up it's a giant like balloon statue. So this is what it looks like. So I'm not rich. I can't afford something like that. I would love to. However, I do believe, if I'm correct, I know Cole Wiggle, who's another YouTuber, who I think if I'm he made that for his brother Gage. I thought his brother's name was Greg. I thought it was Greg at first. I can't remember what happened, but anyway, doesn't matter. I think I remember him on a big YouTube video for Christmas. He made that. I think he made it out of paper cups, something like that, or whatever. I forgot what he said he made it out of, but he used it for his little brother, and I remember he said was actually able to move up and down, like fall down and stuff like that, so he can and then pick it back up. So I can afford something like that, and I have no craft skills to make something like that. So what I use is this. So this is what I use instead. So this is kind of how I use the Wiggles balloon thing, and it's this giant pillow of the Wiggles in the big red car. And originally this had Dorothy the dinosaur right here, but I scratched her out because I took her out because she's not a part of the. It's kind of like this. It's the 4 of them car. It's not a 5-person car. Well, it's an 8-person car now, but it's really. But originally it's a 4-person. And then you have Greg, you have Jeff, you have Murray, and you have Anthony. And then you have this is Jeff's hands, and these are Murray's hands. And if you kind of press it together, you can make them touch tips, not hand tips, kind of like that. There you go. And so this has more fluff than normal because I added more fluff to this. So I use this for like a Wiggles balloon thing because I can't afford to get a giant balloon like that. And everyone has their own balloon individual, but again, I can't afford that. So this is what I use to improvise. It's kind of like a giant puppet. So and I use this as the Murray balloon improvised. So this is what I use. It's this giant ass pillow. So yeah, so this is kind of so yeah, and there's a stitch right there because I had to stuff it more in here, and then yeah, and then here's another stitch because I had to add more in the base and then more up here. So this is kind of how it is. And how I got this one. And while I'm doing that, I'll tell you the story how I got this huge ass thing here. Put it right over here on this towel I have right here. Um, there was a neighbor where I used to live. Um, there was a neighbor who I there was it was in my old neighborhood where I used to live, and they had this balloon. They had this thing here, um, and they had this pillow here, and it was in the garage. And I said, I said, Mom, I said, so much. I said, what? I would love to get this. I would love to have this thing one day, And I said, maybe I would love to find this thing. So it looks so cool. And I'm like, maybe I can find this thing. Maybe get myself one of these things one day. So one day, the neighbor's garage was open, and I said, hey, I'm a fan. I really like the Wiggles, and I really dig them. I think it's really cool. Do you think I said that's really cool. He said, you know what? You can have it. So he gave it to me. We ended up cleaning it because again, safety reasons. And so here's kind of what it originally looked like with Dorothy's face in there, and then there's like a seatbelt thing with her. So here's kind of the original. There's the original. But we scrapped her out, and then there's kind of two different versions of it. There's that one where her head kind of like where her head is kind of able to move and stuff like that. And then there's another one kind of like, and then there's this one, or her head can't move at all, and it's kind of like stitched in there. So he gave it to me. He was like, you know what, just take it. And I said, and I was like grateful. So we took it. We got it cleaned up again for safety reasons too, germs, COVID. It was. I'm kidding. It was thousands. COVID wasn't even around then. So I used this to improvise. Like I said, the Wiggles balloon thing, and it's anyway, it's got a lot of fluff in here. Put a lot of extra fluff in here, to give it a big poofy, to poof everyone's face out. Everyone has a good fluff in their face. Yeah, but this is it, and this is all of my Wiggles merchandise. So this took a lot to do. This is a long ass video. It's 32 minutes long. I didn't realize how long it is. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, this is going to be a super long video. I apologize. If you don't want to watch it, that's totally okay with me. This is a really long ass video. I don't realize how long it is. But anyway, if you have the time to watch it, please do. This is all my cool Wiggles merchandise. I have a lot here. The sun is slowly coming up at something. This is only 5:38 right now. So anyway, so that is included for today's video. I hope you like it. Please make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me if we'll see the comments. Maybe I'll figure out the comments. Maybe being on or not. They most likely will be on. We'll see how I feel. If not, that's okay. So anyway, so that is it. So again, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Apologies for the super long video. I was trying to see if I can get it done to 20 minutes, but I think I ended up getting it to 32 minutes. Now I think 33 minutes. So I apologize for that. So anyway, that is it. Everyone, please take care. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Thank you for being a friend. I'll see you next video. Love you a lot. Apologies for being so long. All right, see you next video. Love you a lot. Bye.